And also, ain't it funny how people could could do certain things, and because they have certain last names, that they can just get away with things, like, dating 14-year-old girls, dating 15-year-old girls, getting 16-year-old girls drunk, getting 17-year-old girls high, you know, and then 18, that's when the hard drugs, but the harder the drug, sooner the better. And like I said, that's a place where a place where people don't unfortunately want to admit. But when someone like me, if I'm the wrong one, or if people even think that, oh, this Adam Tatum, he's the wrong one, I'm saying they will pile down, they'll pile on top, and they will act like, like I said, I'm gonna say this much: there is a thing about black folks who will try to break other black folks down. I never got that, but some people, they do it, and they really take it to heart. They really take it to heart, and then that's how you got like I guess how you get a Brandon Tatum. That's how you get a Brandon Tatum instead of an Adam Tatum. If you, like I said, y'all, I'm saying me calling the place racist because I showed up. I didn't show up at 11 when like I said, it was just for the interviews. So like I said, I never heard of someone getting hired and then not doing any interviews or anything after. If someone was hired, but like I said, they don't know if that person is going to be there. But like I said, not even taking my application. Like I said, I did ask for an application or to fill the application out there, but no, it said it was filled. So fine. But like I said, there are small towns all over America where there are black folks who intentionally try to tear other black folks down. I'm gonna tell you that one right now, and I'm one of those black folks because for the longest time it was all you talk like you're white, you're a white person trapped in a black person's body. That's the insults that I got from a lot of black people. And then like I said, and then when the other races see black people getting on you, then the other races feel it's easier to be racist on them as well. So that's like I said, it just opens the door when you have black on black, which is intra meaning black on black, the same race. Like I said, and that's the thing about it in these small towns, a lot of people don't want to fucking talk about. They refuse to talk about it, and they live in this hierarchy that these certain people who have last names, and they just can never do no wrong, even though they've been getting teenage fucking girls drunk and high and partying them and cocaine and all this shit, but then they want to try to jump on someone like me for dating. So, or if a female who is younger than me actually finds me attractive, then all of a sudden it's wrong. It's wrong. Oh my God, there's an age gap. Oh my God, there's an age gap. But when it's other people who are doing it, they wish them the best. They wish them the best, and all when they're gonna have kids and all this shit and all that shit. Like I said, they like I said, it's other people who they sit around and they just purposely will try to tank and try to make them go down, and then try to turn around and make everybody else seem like they're crazy. Like they wasn't out throwing train rocks, like they wasn't out fucking manipulating, like I said, there's a lot, like I said, that goes down in the black community that a lot of blacks don't want to talk about. And like I said, and this is me not coming in defense of a Brandon Tatum. This is not me coming in defense of him at all. But because of the problem in the intra problems within the race, that's how we end up with a fucking Brandon Tatum. So like I said, if black people want to get mad at a Brandon Tatum, which they're rightfully so, and these other black people who hate themselves so much, but it all tracks back to them being put down so much by their own community. And then when another community actually accepts them, and then all of a sudden you're the whitewashed or whatever, and then it's like I said, but then there's certain white people who can say the N-word, and there are certain white people who can say the N-word. There are certain white people who Hispanics who can say the N-word, and it'd be no problem. but let some racist person from a surrounding county who's really racist call someone a nigger, and then all of a sudden people want to join up all together and click up all together and fight against racism. But no, it's racism. It's they're picking the racism. It's picked racism about, like I said, in these small towns, they pick who they want to be racist towards, and they pick who they just want to cover, because that's, like I said, that's the mindset of these small towns with, you know, people who just are stuck in their ways and like that, who have never been out of this place, but then they want to try to tell people who been out this place how to live life. Like I said, this shit is so fucking backwards. This is so backwards. But like I said, this is me, not no defense at all. But I'm just trying to get into the mind of seeing why there's people like Brandon, like the big people like Brandon Tatum, because they talk and they talk and they talk, and you know, and it's because the people that it's just the people that it's just the people that they interact with, like I said, and it's always something, you know, and it's like they want to make this certain black person feel like an outcast, or feel like they're wrong in some shape, form, or way. But like I said, you know, I'm saying what needs to be said, and how someone feels a certain way. The people are entitled to feel a way, and if somebody doesn't like it, oh well. People, I can say whatever. It's a free country. People don't like it. Do you know why don't they leave? If they don't like it, leave. Like I said, I said enough that we're trying to explain the mindset of someone like a Brandon Tatum, because he's horrible. Don't get me wrong. He's horrible, and I hope and I pray that he gets sued. Now this is a whole different level now. If him talking all that stuff about the Nolan Wells and talking all that mess about him, I really truly hope that they sue Brandon Tatum. I hope that the Nolan's family sues Brandon Tatum. I hope they sue him, because he's saying like he said, he let his hate go that deep, that he's willing to jump on the side of racist people, and the people who, you know, like I said, everybody knows what's going on. There's something fishy going on with the whole Nolan Wells. But like I said, I'm just trying to show, because there's like these psychologists who trying to act like they, you know what the mindset, and, you know, like I said, but until they've been in that mindset, all they can know is just, they can speculate. Unless they've been treated bad by the black community themselves, then they won't know. They won't know. But if they know what I'm talking about, then they know what I'm talking about. And if that's the case, and like I said, that's what's going to be, and that's what's going to be. People always want to talk mess. People always want to talk. But like I said, like I said, it's so primitive. And then these black folks, they are so, like I said, black folks are so quick to jump on other black folks and not even give the benefit of the doubt of, like, the situation that I was talking about earlier. Which is, like I said, I don't care if they hired a black person or not. Like I said, I can still speak my mind and say that if a place is racist, or felt like I was turned away because of my race, then I can feel that way. I'm allowed to feel that way. And like I said, there are blacks who hate other blacks. And that's the thing about it. I'm unfortunately, I'm one of those black people that other blacks, they just love to hate. Like my social media, people just are on it just to watch me like a zoo. And the minute that I say something that they don't like, oh my goodness, it's just coming down. Let's come down like the wrath. But let other people say the stupidest things online. Let people do the stupidest things, and you got these people supporting them. But someone like me gets the opposite. Like I said, I said my piece, and it is that's all I can say.